Hey guys, I am so excited to show you my new bullet journal for 2020. This is my third bullet journal. So first we're gonna say goodbye to my beloved notebook. This is a yellow notebook that I've had for a while. As you can see, I haven't used a lot of pages. There's still quite a few missing. I didn't use as many, which is why my new notebook, I don't have a bunch of pages. The new notebook I have is only 192, not 249. That being said, Charlie has served me well. I really appreciated him, and I put a lot of things in him. That sounds kind of weird, but I keep receipts and stickers and stuff, and so I'm just taking those out before I move in. And yeah, as you can see, I put a lot of stickers on it. I gave it a lot of love, but now we're going over to my new Rhodia web notebook. It's an A5 size, I believe it's a true A5, and it's got nice rounded corners, some soft leather covering. I really like how it feels. What else? It's a dotted notebook. It's got, the features so far are just a strap for the elastic, one bookmark, and it does have a little pocket in the back. The pages are 90 GSM, I believe, and yeah, I'm just really excited to use it. The dots are a little bit darker than your average Leuchtturm notebook, but I think overall the quality of the paper is what I'm most looking for in a notebook. Just to be advised, if you're interested in this notebook, it's a little bit more peach toned, the paper, than your average Leuchtturm, which is like a cream color. And I think the paper is a little bit thicker than a Leuchtturm, so that's really nice if you have a bunch that you want to put in your notebook. So now I did a little bullet journal review of 2019, what worked, what didn't. I used a lot of spreads, and I didn't really fill them out. I made a bunch, and I did not use what I thought I would use, and that happens every year, you know. I think we all have that thing where you make a bunch and you're like, I'm so excited, and then you don't use them. So the evaluation I'm doing is just what worked, what didn't, and what didn't I'm just not going to employ. What worked is actually not very big. And so I took what worked and then what I wanted to add, and I made a little page design. So I just did your normal, just how I wanted to lay it out, very basic. And I'm moving it over into this new notebook. So I haven't come up with a name for him yet, but I'm really excited to use this black notebook. It's very simple, and I'm gonna put stickers all over it, so I'll probably do a decorating my notebook video. So now what I'm doing is essentially doing what writer Carol said to do, which is taking each of the pages and just folding them back like so to let it lie flat. And then with my notebook ritual, a lot of people don't like this, but I like to break the spine. It's just kind of an official, woo, I'm starting the notebook. So I'm opening to the very first page, and because this notebook doesn't have an index, I'm gonna make one with my Tombow Fudenosuke. This is the hard tip. I like the hard tip mostly just because I feel like I have more control with the tip. So I'm just marking index on both pages and then labeling page number and topic. Alright, so moving on to the next spread. I'm taking this idea from Amanda Rachley, if you've seen her on YouTube, and I'm making a dot grid. It's pretty easy. You just measure how many dots there are, and it's a good reference for when you're trying to divide your pages in half or in thirds. Technically, my notebook doesn't divide into thirds either way, which is kind of sad. It's 26 across and 40 down, but I still like to use it just for half, and it makes my life a lot easier when I can just flip. I put it on the left side so I can see it no matter where I am in my notebook. And again, this is just a really great hack from Amanda Rach Lee. So now I'm just marking the pages that I've made in my index, and I went ahead and transferred everything that I had planned in my notebook outline just so that I didn't have to run back and forth and mark each page as I did it. It's just a sort of, it makes my life easier so that I don't have to be flipping back and forth and adding the notes. This next bit is just my key, so I do the Writer Carol method pretty much. I add a few things. So I do just your average bullet for a task, a circle for an event, a dash for a note, and then I add a little sub-notes box in case I want to add a bunch of things. So it's just like a down to the right arrow, if you can see it there. And what I do with this is I stick the sticky note on the inside of my journal, so if I need it for reference, I can just tape it to the outside of my journal and I can still see it, and you can see me doing that here, just flipping to the inside, sticking it there, and then if I need it, I just place it out there so I can look at it no matter where I am in my notebook. So now I'm flipping to the next spread, which is going to be on the left side my 2020 goals. Now the way that I do this is I list out 5 main goals that I want to achieve, and then I put what the goal is, the first step to taking, that goal and making it happen, and then what happens when I know I'm done with the goal. And I don't do that here, but I just want to let you know in case you wanted to try it yourself. I'll probably make something about my goals, maybe just put it on Instagram. And then the next page, I really tried to make this work, but I think I'm just gonna scratch it all out because here's what happened. I wanted to make a birthday spread, and because I'm going off to college in August, I wanted to put like all of my friends and family's birthdays, and I do this every year. I like to put birthdays so I don't forget them. But I couldn't figure out the spacing, and I was filming at the time, and I didn't want to spend hours filming trying to get the spacing right. And I made a valiant effort with that spacing tracker, but I didn't really know how to balance out the 12 months, and so you can see here that I completely failed, but I'm going to make a paper version, and I'm just going to glue it in, and maybe I'll post that at some point, but for right now, I'm just gonna scrap the whole idea and move on. Now it's time for my most used spread in my bullet journal. This is the year at a glance. Now, I do my year at a glance a little bit different than Writer Carol's method, and that is I put 3 months on both sides, and I do it vertically. So I put January through June, and then I put the days of the month and where they are in the month, like the whole monthly calendar. You'll see me do that, which is the most painstaking part of the spread. But then below it, I write all of my events, which I haven't done here. Obviously, you don't need to see that. And then underneath, if I have any extra notes, like maybe for the next 6 months, I'll put that there. And when it comes time for July through December, I will make a second 6-month spread. But for now, I'm not doing that because I don't really need it. It's my senior year, second semester of high school. So I don't really need the next 6 months anyway. And yeah, this is just how I do my year at a glance. Well, this is another one of these super fun spreads that I'm excited to do. I liked the spread in 2019, so I wanted to carry it over. And this is my books and movies spread. So on the left side, I drew a little book and it says to read, and I put a little quote by Frederick Douglass. And on the right side, I've created this little television that says to watch, and then I put like a funny little Tumblr quote that I found. And I think both of these spreads help me commit to being inspired, because I find that reading and watching movies and TV keep me really inspired in my writing and also just in my everyday life. I think a lot of us can find that inspiration in books and movies, so I like to keep a tracker of the things I've seen so I don't, stay watching the same things or reading the same things. Right now I'm just creating a blog post idea spread. This is super easy. I just write blog post ideas up at the top, and then I list my ideas with a little circle. And I always need this because I like to update my blog. I'll leave a link below. It's called writeoutofmymind.wordpress.com, and I like to post every Saturday, so it's super easy to run out of ideas. So that's what that is. And then on the right side, I'm just making a needs/wants tracker. Now, I say tracker a lot, but it's just a collection. I guess that's what it is officially. So I just put need on the left side, I believe, and want on the right side, and I just write down things I need or want, and it's a good way of keeping myself minimalistic and not buying too much. So who doesn't like doing things for the new year? I know I do, and that's why I'm really excited about this one. It's just a self-improvement spread. I filled out a bunch of questions and then I wanted to log them somewhere, so I'm going to put them here as a reference for the next year of my life. And now it is time for the January spread. This one got real when I started to do it. So basically what I did is I made a 7x7 square for every day of the month, and January this year starts on a Wednesday, so I just went ahead and flipped back with reference to my year at a glance to make sure I was using the right days, and I just made these squares. I did it by hand, and I'm starting to like to do this because I like to use a ruler, but I feel like I use rulers wrong. It's just like a thing. I don't know, but I feel like it's easier. There's dots anyway, that's what they're there for reference, and I just draw my own squares, and it works out pretty well. There you have it. That was my entire bullet journal setup for January 2020. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe, and maybe I'll make more bullet journal videos. Thank you. Bye.